This is Obsuna Obsessions. Kamusta po kayong lahat dyan? Welcome to yet another episode of Obsuna Obsession Vlog. And for today's vlog, I'm gonna be talking about Praxis. Yes, so I'm gonna be sharing with you my journey and my success. Yes, as I speak, I got the result of my Praxis board examination and it's a pass. Yay! Finally. Praxis is one of the licensure examination here in the United States for teachers. So I'm not that expert with regard to licensure and all. So better always call your licensure expert in your school district. So what I'm only gonna be sharing are my experiences and at the same time some of the things that I have done, and hopefully this video will be helpful for you. So let's get started. So my end goal is I wanted to pass the licensure exam. I wanted to get a license to be able to teach here in the United States. So first thing off, I contacted the Department of Public Instruction of my state. In my case, I'm here in North Carolina. So I contacted the NCDPI, or the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, and asked for further instruction. So according to them, so this was just a summary. So according to them, in order for me to get a license and be able to teach in a public school is one, to have at least 3 years of teaching experience, which I have. Two, I should be able to pass the Praxis examination. And then I was asking her, the the representative, and she told me that she won't be able to give me all the details. Better I can contact the Praxis itself, the ETS. My first ever question then was, am I eligible to take Praxis? And he said yes, if you have completed your bachelor's degree and if you are a teacher. And second question is, if I wanted to register for a practice, do I register it by myself, or do I need to ask permission from my principal or from the school or from the school district? And he said, no need, just register yourself. And then, so what is the first thing to do? So you have to first identify which Praxis exam would you like to take. That could be one. That depends upon your major or specialization. In my case, my major is physical ed and health. So I took the Praxis 5857, which is health and physical education, content knowledge. And yeah, so after identifying your Praxis exam, you have to create your Praxis account. So in order for you to create your Praxis account, you have to go to the ets.org and then sign up there. A simple sign up. So once you got your Praxis account, you will be directed in the your Praxis homepage, and there are so many tabs which I can show you. So first we have the registration and orders, and then the how to manage your profile. Of course, if you are done with the test, where the score should be reflected, and some of the links that will really help you. So before I register for a test, I first did or purchase a test reviewer, or shall I say test preparation. Yes, that would be really helpful. And I think this would be the main thing. If you're gonna ask me what are the tips that I can give it to you, you have to purchase the test material, the review material. So in my case, the Praxis have two versions of it, and both of the review material I have purchased for $20 each. Before I register, first I need to check first the state testing requirement. Okay, like what is the passing score in my Praxis exam, and what does the state require? So all this thing you need to go through, all right, until you get a clarity. So after that, I got myself 1 week of review. Yeah, 1 week of review, and then yeah, so that's the thing. So after my 1 week of review, which later on I'm gonna be talking about the review materials and all the question, so I find time where I can do it myself. So good thing last March 14, it was a holiday here in US. So 4 days before that, I registered online, and then I selected home testing, and then that's it. There are some requirements that you need to run. Okay, first is the system or the laptop that you're gonna be using. It should be, there is a specific, okay, specs that you need to meet if you are using Windows or Mac. Okay, not only that, the storage, the RAM should be, you have to meet the required number of specification in order for you to get, yeah. What else? The camera or the mic should be there. So the technical aspect of testing, you should meet all the requirements, and everything is listed in the Praxis. So once I run the test and I pass, so I automatically look for my holiday where I can take the real proper exam, and then good to go. So there are some frequently asked questions that if if I am outside of the US, will I be able to take the Praxis exam? Yes, I think, yes, they are doing it. There are some, you just have to go through the website that they are allowing, yes, Praxis exam outside of US. And then, like, what are the accommodation? Yeah, they are providing accommodation if you are if you need special attention or special care in taking examination. Yeah, so what I did was, as soon as I passed the requirement in home testing, I immediately registered for the Praxis exam. It was, yeah, March 14. And then, yeah, okay, so the proctor will going to ask you to show them what's in front of you, what's under you, everything, even on your table, everything should be clear and all. Even and there are some guidelines, all right? There are some that when you forfeit it, the result will get affected. So just read all the guidelines in home testing. Make sure that you all meet it, and then you're good to go. So after my 2 hours of exam, it was like 130 questions, okay, from health education, from PE, from recreation. So it was like, okay, let me just tell you, the test category are health education and discipline health instruction, 22 questions, and then health education and content, 28 questions, content knowledge and students growth and development, 18 questions. So with regard to health education as a discipline, they will be asking about health education in reference to US. So if you study health education here in US, that will be easy for you. But then again, if you study health education outside of US, you really need to do a lot of reading and study, because most of the questions are US based. Like, for example, this is not the question, but the question was somewhat like, the obesity rate of the teenager is this. So they have given the figures. So if you are not aware with the health education here in the US, you don't know the obesity rate, you don't know the youth risk factors, again, US based, really need to study harder with regard to health education US based. Yeah, and some of the categories are management, motivation, communication, collaboration, reflection, and teaching. Yeah, like, for example, there was one question regarding what is the most effective way to promote respect between teachers, parents, students. So the answer is implementing a fair, or implementing a field day. So yeah, so those are the questions that is solely US based. And of course, there are so many questions about planning, instruction, and student assessment, reflection in PE as well. So you really need to do a lot of study. With regard to test material, I should say that, okay, say for example, the question in the test material is 130. It's not guaranteed that out of 130, all the question will come up in the real examination. It's actually not. If I'm not mistaken, only 4 questions, but most of the questions are from the test material. They just tweak the question. So if you understood, what's the question in the materials, if you understood it, when you understood it whatever and however way they tweak it, you will be able to answer the questions. Okay, let me just give you some of the questions. So there was one question there about, okay, like giving a feedback in PE. So in the test preparation, how are you going to give a feedback to the students who is in softball? All right. So the way we are giving feedback, it should be not stating the obvious. It should be not general. It should be not effective. It should be concise. All right. It should be doable. Okay. Don't give something like you can do it. Don't give something like look at the ball. Don't give something like stating the obvious. Okay. Give something like okay, open your legs. Okay, more doable and more concise. Open your legs and bend your knees and make a wider stance. So this is the way we should give direction. So in a real question, the question like somewhat related here, but the question has been presented in a different way. So since I understood the way we are giving feedback to the students, that it should not be stating the obvious, it should not be about affective or feeling level, it should be concise, it should be doable, something to do with psychomotor base. So that's how it is. Yeah, it's not easy because it's like testing your knowledge all out. Okay, most of the questions are situation based, and it will really test your understanding. It will really test your principle as a teacher and your experience. Yeah, so couple of things that I would like to let you know. Number one is you have to comprehend the question. All right, because from the question itself, you have to get the cue word, okay, the context word from the question. Then only you will be getting the correct answer, because most of the options are somewhat correct. So if you really have understood the question, okay, you will not get tricked by all of the options, because yes, they will give you a lot of options that you feel are correct. Correct. Yeah, you really feel are correct. So that could be one. And two, if you are planning to take Praxis at home, you have to first make sure that you meet all the requirements, the physical requirements of your laptop, and you need to pay of course the Praxis exam. I paid for 110 for the practice, $110 plus $20 for the test materials, and yeah, that's it. Let me just give you an example about health education. About non-verbal communication. So what would be the first, what would be the best communication to the students? So the answer is non-verbal. So the question, all right, so the question is like if the health teacher is going around the class, what should be the gesture of the teacher in order for her to get an effective classroom management and all? So it said about gesture. So when you say about gesture, so we're talking about nonverbal skills, okay? So the answer for that is you have to make eye contact and smile. So that would be the best gesture. Of course, this is the context clue that I would like you to get whenever you're reading the question. Yeah. What else? What are the other about industrial health? Like for the farmers who has been in an industrial place, what could be the potential hazard to their health? So the options are irregular bowel movement, glaucoma. The answer is Parkinson's disease. Yeah, Parkinson's disease. If a person is exposed to industrial pesticides. What else? What are the other health related questions? About gingivitis. If gingivitis is not being treated well, so what could be the next? So like period periodontal diseases. It will lead to a periodontal diseases. Again, another US reference question. And this is what I remember. So there are some options, and the question was, among the option, which is a naturopathic medicine. So if you are familiar with the word naturopathic medicine, I mean, the question is kind of long, so I was kind of shortening it. So the question is, what among the options, what are or what is considered as a neuropathic medicine? So when you say naturopathic medicine, it is a kind of medicine that practices natural healing, massages, and natural ability of the body to heal. Yan. So the answer there is chiropractor. Okay, the options are like optometrist, psychologist. Yeah, so those who are practicing naturopathic means natural medicine. So there are lots of questions that are merely US reference. So you really need to study. In terms of PE, it's all about the principle of locomotor, principle of coaching, principle of breaking down the success criteria, also the rubric. Okay, so there's one of the question there which I remembered, like this is a sheet where they measure the amount of performance against the criterion, so something like that. There's also one question about, this is an assessment where you get to compare the result to other students. So that is a norm reference. Yeah, diba? The validity testing, and also there are lots of questions which really test your knowledge, principle and practices and experience. Yeah. My suggestion is, one, you have to purchase the materials. If not, you can go online and read a lot about your Praxis exam. And that is the only way out for you to be able to ace this Praxis exam. Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you learned something from me today. This has been your Obsuna Obsession. Thank you.